Hi, this is Dan Sullivan. I'm here with Professor Steinbuch. We're going to again discuss FOIA. There was a bill at the end of the session, as I recall, that was very similar to what the bill during the special session was.
That's right, Dan, and it's a pleasure to be back talking with you and all the folks here about the Freedom of Information Act. As you know, at the end of the general session, there was a bill introduced that would have made fairly significant changes to the Freedom of Information Act. That bill failed in committee on the House side, and then during the special session, there was a similar bill, not identical, that was introduced, and many things happened as a result.
To say the least.
Yeah, so we'll get into that.
Yeah, and the bill that came before us in the special session was primarily, it included other things, but the purpose of it was security. And it covered more than that. And there was quite a bit of discussion on a bill. I think several versions came out, correct?
That's right. It was 2 or 3 versions until the final version. But the point you raise is exactly right, which is the governor said correctly that she was seeking a bill that dealt with security. The bills that came out, the sort of mirror bills that came out in the House and the Senate, dealt with other things, and that created some consternation, shall we say.
Yeah, it had a lot of good discussion. Several groups of people and individuals were involved. I know I got a lot of phone calls and met with several groups, and I think many people in the House and the Senate did. And eventually the bill got narrowed down quite a bit.
That's right. And indeed, the final bill dealt exactly and only with that topic of security, and almost everybody got on board with it, including me. I endorsed that bill. I'm not going to say it's perfect because no bill is perfect. Right. Nobody shoots for perfection because then you get nothing. But the bill was a good bill, and we all agreed, like I say, virtually all agreed on that. And that really was a demonstration of the democratic process.
Yeah, to say people didn't like the discussion or debate, or it was a terrible bill and it gutted, I think the word that was used multiple times, we have gutted FOIA. Just real clear, in my opinion, it did not gut FOIA at all.
Oh, the bill that passed?
The final one. It was very narrow to security. So the idea that's still out there and people are still saying, well, you gutted FOIA.
That's just not correct. And no one accuses me of being someone willy-nilly when it comes to the Freedom of Information Act. I am a strong defender of the Freedom of Information Act. As you know, I have written a treatise on the Freedom of Information Act, and so I believe in transparency principles. The bill that passed did not gut FOIA. It made some changes, and it narrowed in that one category documents that are available. But to call that a gutting is just not accurate.
We'll end it right there. So, but the other issue is primary right now is DEI. And we are having committee hearings and testimony at our higher ed groups. Different colleges are coming in and universities. We did a lot of research. DEI is very prominent. Of course, the Supreme Court ruled just recently that a form of DEI, affirmative action, it's just another way of talking about DEI and affirmative action, are fairly similar. Can you talk about that?
For sure. And let's define it, just to be clear for the audience. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is this terminology, DEI, or as I like to call it, DIE. We can use any order we want, can't we? It is part and parcel with affirmative action. And we believe as conservatives in merit. Now, we believe that certain people may need a little help to get along the way, but that should not contravene basic notions of merit. And you have been at the vanguard of this issue, probably most prominently seen with your bill SB 71, which made it 3/4 of the way through, right? We made it through the Senate committee, through the Senate, through the House committee, and it failed on the floor in the House. It's coming back. The bill would eliminate affirmative action by government and only government in Arkansas, and it would put us amongst about 10 to a dozen states that have already done so. So it would be near the top, but nothing unusual though. It wouldn't be an experiment. It's been done in places, including California. If California can do it, and by the way, don't worry, their legislature didn't do it, the people did it.
Yeah, exactly. It's really important that we talk about these issues. It only ends, as Robert said, in government responsibility. We're not trying to reach over into the private section. It's not the scope of within our work, but it is important that we especially in our higher ed areas, that we're looking at merit. I think we just found this out, that we appoint on some of the commissions and committees we have, that we make appointments based on your gender. We make appointments based on your race. We make appointments based on a variety of things, some of which the people making the appointments can't even tell you how they base their judgment. Folks, that's just not right. Arkansas is making a lot of great steps in the area of freedom, in the area of merit. We need to keep that going. Closing comments?
Well, you're exactly right. The left talks about the dangers of implicit bias, and then they save these positions for people, presuming therefore that they have implicit bias that is somehow positive and necessary. You can't get caught in that tar pit. That's not good.
Can't have it both ways.
No.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Enjoyed.
you.
We'll try to have some more of these later on. Enjoyed visiting with you.
As always.
And appreciate you watching.
Thanks.
That's good.